Now, when did you move to this house?
In February of 1958.
Okay, so in between when Uncle Dave and Aunt Lida were born, right?
Your Uncle Dave was born. He wasn't quite a year old when we moved here. And Lida was born in August. We moved here in February and she was born 6 months later.
Now, was this house new when you bought it?
It was built in 52.
Okay, so by that point, they'd added more streets to Hutchins.
They added more streets in 1949.
Okay.
That's when they started building over in this section.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we learned to drive, was on the streets,
I
because
see.
there was no kids there.
Mm-hmm.
Pappaw even learned to drive on it, didn't you?
A little.
A little bit. Did you learn to drive in Tennessee, or did you learn to drive here?
A little bit in Tennessee, mostly up here.
Okay, I see. Did your brother teach you? Or did you teach yourself?
No, as a matter of fact, he didn't like it when I got into the 34 Ford. It was my car,
Uh-huh.
but I couldn't drive. I didn't have the driver's license.
See, the police department was people that lived here in town, so they recognized you and they never stopped you when you were trying to learn how to drive.
Mm-hmm. What do you remember about when the kids were really little? Like, what stands out? Like, just events around town.
Oh, well, they played baseball down at the park.
The bicycle.
Who?
The marathon.
Oh, they rode a bicycle. This was in '69. They kept the bicycle going for 10 days.
Wow.
There was 10 of them, and they'd spend the night down at the park.
Wow.
And we weren't afraid because everybody knew everybody, you understand? And the police department would keep an eye on them.
Who were among the 10?
Well, there was Bernie, Larry, David. There was Timmy Colville. There was Leo Colville.
Billy Johnson.
Who?
Billy Johnson.
Billy Johnson. I can see the kid, but I can't think of his name. There was at least 10 or 12 when we got there.
I think Nyford was in on it.
Well, but I'm thinking of the one that lived where Linda Borelli lived with her husband. You remember that was 3 two-room apartments at one time? Can't think of the guy's name, but he was in the group with them.
But the object was to keep one bicycle going for 10 days straight, changing riders?
Well, what they had 3 bicycles, see, because if one got a flat tire or something, they had to be able to jump off of that one onto another one.
Okay. Did they do it?
They did it. They did it.
That's good.
They rode over 700 miles,
Wow. That's impressive.
and I had to keep them bicycles running.
You did a good job. What do you remember about the kids when they were little? Specifically your kids.
Well, I'll tell you now, like, they had to stay in the yard. They had to, because, well, I couldn't be in 7 different spots at one time. And they never got into any trouble, did they, Vern?
A little bit.
When?
Well, you tell me. You didn't tell me about the trouble. They tell me about it now. Remember, I used it would get close to dark, and I'd go out in the backyard and whistle.
Yeah, and they had to come home when he whistled.
Oh, okay. That was your warning. Get home.
You know.
What happens if they didn't? Oh.
Yeah.
Was there any that did that more often than the others?
Not very often.
Okay. So they were all good kids then, huh?
They were.
How often did you take them down to Tennessee, or how often did you go back to Tennessee to see your family?
I went at least 2 times a year, sometimes 3 times a year. I took the whole family one time a year.
Did you usually go down just to see Louise, or did you go to see everybody?
Go down and see everybody. My father and, of course, my mother was deceased at that time. So.
Mm-hmm.
She died in 59.
Okay. What were those road trips like? Especially as you started getting more and more kids.
15 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And if you had to go to the bathroom, we either stopped in the woods or at the schoolhouse or something.
Because there were no interstates at this point, right?
2 ways, you know, go.
I had a 65 Pontiac, no air conditioning. And we go in the summertime with that dude. You're talking about miserable.
Mm-hmm.
So we usually try to go at night.
Just because it was cooler, or
Yeah.
because there was less people on the road? Or?
Cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the one that had the 3rd seat that
Yeah.
sat back there, rode backwards?
Well, the 69 Chevy had 3rd seat too.
And rode backwards?
Yeah.
Sat back there.
Now, did you always drive?
So Bernie got old enough, he was helping a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, of the two, when the kids were little, it was just you that drove, right?
Yeah. She would drive a little bit once in a while to give me a break,
Mm-hmm.
but not necessarily. She never would do it when we had all the kids,
Mm-hmm.
because she wasn't that good of a driver.
Because Mammaw never got you never got your driver's license, did you?
We're going to Tennessee one morning. We're way down in Kentucky on Highway 41. I'm about half asleep. I said, Laddie, you gotta drive and let me sleep for a while. Okay.
Like I wasn't tired.
So I says, when we get to the top of the hill up here now, 41 goes to your left. We got to the top of the hill and she didn't get in the left lane. She stayed in the right lane. I said, Laddie, you gotta go to your left. I know. So she turned right.
That's when he decided he'd drive.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I'm gonna drive. My brother, he always wanted to go back and forth to Tennessee, and he'd take about a pint of whiskey with him.
And that's RV, right?
Yeah, and he'd drink a little bit and suck on a lemon, and drink a little bit and suck on a lemon. And man, I tell you, one morning I was so doggone sleepy I couldn't hold my eyes open. I said, "Irene, you're gonna have to drive." So I pulled off. I had a '49 Oldsmobile. I pulled off one side of the road. He got behind the steering wheel, and he never did get on the street. He never did get on the highway. He was running on the shoulder of the road. I said, "Stop it. I'll drive." I was scared awake because he was.
Mm-hmm.
But he had his fun.
Mm-hmm.
He was a pretty good brother.
Mm-hmm. Then he brought you up here, so.
She liked him.
I liked your brother already.
He was about 6'5", and when he died, he weighed 250 pounds.
He died at 42.
I see. Now, by this point, when you have your kids and they're little ones, how had Hodgkins changed?
Since then?
Yeah. No, as compared to when you were very young. You said when you were very young, there were only 3 streets in town, and there were mainly 3 families that were wealthier than everybody else. How had Hodgkins changed from the 30s and 40s to like the mid 60s?
Well, for one thing, there was more people here, and we didn't really know them, you know. And a lot of in my day, the mother didn't work, just the father. Well, a lot of mothers and fathers, worked, had to make the living. And they were living a little bit higher than their means.
They were up in what?
They lived beyond their means. But I was still comfortable here, Well, Brett, when you had 7 kids, you can't let them roam the town. They had to be, if they rode their bike, it had to be up and down on this street, or on this sidewalk, or whatever,
Was it still the 3 wealthy families and then everybody else?
Yeah.
So that hadn't changed much? When did that start to peter off? And
All right. The Eisenmans owned that trailer park.
mm-hmm.
Cole Lindsay owned, well, on top of the hill there was a tavern and a bowling alley, and there was racetrack. And then below the hill was Mance's trailer park and a racetrack in front of it.
And a big tavern.
And what?
Tavern.
Well, yeah, that was Bill Mance's. I would say up until maybe the 80s, wouldn't you?
And then it started eating itself out a little bit more?
Well, yeah, there wasn't one specific family or three families that were wealthier than the rest. We were all more or less on a par then, weren't we, Vernon?
Except for what she said, the Eisermans, the Manses, and
Collins.
Collinzy.
When did they start adding stuff like the Park District and the library and Santa Fe Drive with all the trucking companies?
Okay, the Park District was when our kids were little, Vernon.
Yeah.
I would say in the late 60s.
And whose idea was it to add that? Or how did that get added?
It belonged to Collins.
Oh,
Property
okay.
did.
Well, then, wait a minute. The town of McCook had money.
Mm-hmm.
Hodgkins had no money. Hodgkins had the population. The town of McCook did not have the population. So in order for them to have a park district over there, they had to help us get a park district here. And it was combined, McCook, Hodgkins Park District.
Oh,
See, that's how we got the park. And then later on,
It was Collins's property though.
well, it might have been called,
Because he was the trustee on there for a long
it might
time.
have been called Lindsay's property, but that's how we got it.
so he probably gave you the land to build it on then?
No, he don't give you that.
Well, you bought the land from him and gave it to him, excuse me. But what was it? Was it the original building and then the ball fields and the playgrounds around it, or?
Well, at one time it was more playground than the original building, and then they
Okay.
built the original building. And,
Okay.
But the kids could go and play ball. But people from out of town come down and play ball. They didn't even get permission. They just took it over. Do you remember, Vernon?
And then what about the, when did they add Santa Fe Drive and all the trucking companies?
Santa
They
Fe,
opened it
when,
all right, they put the trailer park in first before they opened Santa